Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our first ever online reading series with the Writers Lab and POPArt and TX Theatre. We're very excited to be launching this new collaboration that is about helping audiences and writers meet one another, which is why we love to have you in the audience. We love to have your feedback on scripts while they're in process. So this is we've taken what has forced us into the online space and tried to create lemonade from lemons. So we hope that we will be able to build an online audience. We hope that we'll be able to build an online community and that you can join us from wherever you are in the world, key into some awesome work that's happening from new writers in South Africa, in Johannesburg and Pretoria, and see the fabulous work as well of the Writers Lab. And in the room tonight, joining me, I have two wonderful members of the Writers Lab. That's Refilwe Lepere and Eddie Taba. And Refilwe, I'm going to hand over to you to introduce the Writers Lab and to introduce the reading for tonight.
Lost Refilwe now. Are you here now?
Okay.
Yes, she's here.
Yeah, I'm here. Am I back? Okay. Hi, everyone. So very brief introduction because my internet suddenly started acting up when it saw people. But the Writers Lab is an organization that we started a couple of years ago. It was really started with Mkolisi, Eddie, Katleho, and Busiso, and Ronald. So they welcome X. And they had really started the organization thinking around how to establish and produce work that is about writing. So a lot of times when we go into theater, we're always working with theater making, and we'd never have plays afterwards. So we love the play, but we don't have the script. So they started this organization around that. I jumped in a couple of years later, really because I'm interested also in playwriting and in how we can make sure that young voices and new plays are produced and created. And it's been an exciting journey over the years because a couple of plays have been made, a couple of plays have been produced from writing to stage. So we've seen a number of plays move from the moment of draft to the moment of stage. So, but before I go further, I think Eddie could elaborate more around also the anthology that we're coming up with this year. So what is exciting for us has been having had a writers festival last year as an inaugural experience. And then hopefully this year we'll have another one. And from that festival, having an anthology of plays that's going to be published later on this year. So hopefully by January or December, we would have a book in our shelves and it'll be awesome. So that's what the Writers Lab is. So if I've missed anything, comrades, leaders, please back me up here.
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Eddie Taba, and I'm part of the Writers Lab, part of the steering committee. So Refilwe just mentioned that we're working on an anthology that we're going to publish. So how this happened is that last year, 2009, we made a call for people to submit their scripts where they wrote their plays. And we had a lot of people submitting their plays, and we had to sift through the scripts. As the steering committee, we read through a lot of very beautiful stories that were really beautifully written, and stories that were touching, stories that were emotional, stories that were relevant to what's happening now, stories that were current. And unfortunately, we only had space for the reading festival for 8 plays. So from those, we selected 8 plays that we had, and we hosted for a story reading festival, a script reading festival at the Tin Town Theatre. And that was in collaboration with the TX Theatre, with Kolisi, And after that, we also had to now cut them down to 4, which was the hardest thing for us and for Vice. Vice is somebody that we are now collaborating with on this phase of publishing. He has the Arts Konageng, and he has published books. So he was the best person to actually come on board to help us with that. So the 4 scripts that we had, are we at that stage where we're telling them who we published, or should I just mention what they were about and then we reveal them later? I'm asking you, my team.
I think because I don't know, but my team. Perhaps
I think
because you started.
Yeah,
say it.
Let's hit it. So we had the 4 plays that we shortlisted and are now final going to publishing is Zips and Scissors. Let me just open the list so that I pronounce people's surnames and names correctly. By Kucho Green. And the next one is The Way to a Man's Heart by Refilo Lepere. After this, we have First by Jade Bibi. And we've got Still, which is the 4th one, by Fisher. What's her name? I forgot the...
Olivia.
Huh? Olivia Fisher. Yes. We've got Still by Olivia Fisher. So what these stories actually had, when we were selecting them, we were selecting the most brilliantly written, the most compelling stories, and the stories that are actually quite very, very close to be publishing ready, which means little mistakes on structure, very little mistakes on grammar and on how people structured their stories. But what actually is interesting is that these actually fit into an anthology. It seems like these people sat and then decided the type of topics they're going to write about, which was not the case. And they gel together, even though they are different. You've got stories that are quite deep and dark, and then you've got stories that are light-hearted, and you've got stories that are quite a mix of the two. But when you read them, they gel together. They gel together seamlessly. So I'm just gonna give a bit of a commentary on each of these stories so that you guys can look forward to actually buying the book, because we make books so that we can sell them. We know we're telling you guys stories and we're expressing ourselves, but at the end, we need to sell our art. So I found the first one is Zips and Scissors. I found the metaphor of women as cloths. So in Zips and Scissors, they refer to women as cloths, and you have silk and you have all these you've got cotton, you've got all these types of fabric. And what I found interesting about that is that they use this as a metaphor. It's metaphoric, because what is fabric? What are different fabrics? It's material. In other words, we're materializing women. And it's commentary on modern day that's quite topical even today. Even during the lockdown period, we hear about people being girls being trafficked. We hear about all these stories of girls being rescued from brothels where they had been trafficked. You hear all these stories about young girls and women, and that's what makes Zips and Scissors quite interesting, and it's quite topical today. It is quite evocative. The play is rich with imagery, which beautifully lends into a nuanced messaging. If women are equated to cloth, you can just think of all the things that we do and how we treat the material and every other thing that it goes through to appreciate just the apt way that the writer has captured the issue of women trafficking and modern day slavery. So that's just a bit on Zips and Scissors. And the next one, The Way to a Man's Heart. This script, the story was actually, when you read it on the surface, it's quite light-hearted. And you hear this woman talk about her man being weak in that he can't control himself. And they talk about food, and you think of food, the literal food, but there's so many things that you can draw from that. And we know the saying, they say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But here, when the woman is actually feeding the man, she is actually killing the man, in that the man, the doctor told the woman strictly what type of food the man should eat. But the woman feeds him the type of food that would actually eventually that's bad for his health, for his heart. So the way to this man's heart is through this food. And the woman is punishing this man because he is quite a philanderer. He is weak-willed. But when she comments about him being weak-willed, I sometimes give him this a piece of cake because he's such weak-willed. He can't say no, and you can just think of what the metaphorical story that's there, that's not said. So it's beautiful in that the writer is not too literal. And once you write like that, you're actually leaving a lot for the imagination. And I found this story quite interesting. So I'm just gonna read a bit. I loved the subtle and deceptive simplicity with which the writer deals with the issue of a devoted but unappreciated wife who finally resorts to extreme measures while externally still appearing to be a devoted wife committed to serving all the needs of her husband, as it is her duty. So this is also commentary on tradition, and traditionally how a woman is perceived to her duty is to actually serve the husband. I found the title of the play to be meaningfully antithetical in that it tells you that the way to a man's heart, you complete it to say, is through his stomach. And here you think of the literal food, but it's actually the food that at the end is bad for his heart. It's and we think normally that when you say that the saying and the food goes to the heart, the way to a man's heart is through his food. It's actually meant in a way that's good for the heart, in that the man will love you better. You win him over by feeding him and serving him. So that's the story. It's quite beautiful, and I liked it that way. And the next one is First. So what First does is that it tells you about these two couple, Jane and John. And what it does, it gives you different possibilities within these two people's meeting from the point they meet. And it's quite relatable in that each and every one of us have had our firsts with somebody. And what it does is that it gives you different firsts. For example, it tells you about when these two people meet and they meet at a bar, and you see one possibility of how they could meet and how this relationship can go, and you think, wow, that's romantic. And then next, you get the same meeting, but how with a different twist on how things could possibly go. And it's quite relatable because each time they meet, you sort of relate to these different types of meets. And from them first meeting, then their first argument, then their first pregnancy scare, and their first meeting the parents. And what the writer did is that the writer does not just give us one first for each, is that they give the writer gives you different firsts. So I'm just gonna read a bit. No play has left me yearning for something more like First did. First, we are told that truth of the events in the play is up to the decision, the discretion of the reader. So this is another interesting thing. The writer gives you different firsts, and how you go, how you move along with the story. It's whichever first that you feel like as the writer is the one that you want to move on to the next option with. You read them all and you choose which was the character's actual first. The truth of the play, of the events of the play, is up to the discretion of the reader. Then the writer goes and makes sure that the play indeed opens up to a multiplicity of interpretations. As the writer says, everything may be true, but nothing may be true. This play is premised on two strangers, or are they strangers? That's another thing that you ask yourself when you are reading. These two strangers, or are they strangers, meeting in a bar and hooking up? After which they experience the usual firsts that couples go through along the stages of a relationship. What makes these interesting is that it makes the reader want to see how it's all going to unfold, or how it's going to end, if it will ever end. These multiple possible meanings are infused into all these events. One thing that the playwright makes clear, which I found quite profound, is that it is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. So this is one thing that one of the characters says to the other, that actually you and I meeting is not destiny, it's choice. When two people meet and actively make a decision to date or go out, they should not credit this to destiny. So I found this play quite interesting, and I think you guys as the readers are going to love it. And what I took out of it might be something different from what you took out of it and what the next person takes out of it. It's beautifully written. And the last one is Still. This play was a bit heavy in that it deals with rape, but how the writer approached it is quite, it's very well written in that it does not deal with the action of the event, but the aftermath of the incident, and how then you still is a way to interrogate. This is actually what the writer wrote as a description, and I realized that I can get how the writer has described it. Still is a way to interrogate the long-term effects of sexual violence within a culture of complacency. A play that does not dispute that something tragic happened in that room that night, that party. A tragedy that happens in so many rooms, at so many parties. A play that delves into what happens next. And this is what I was talking about, that instead of delving on the issue next, still follows three young adults whose lives are at once changed and entangled forever. After spending years trying to repent, to heal, to forget, they find themselves still every of exposed. When Aaron and Julia meet again 5 years later, an unlikely love story unfolds. It is in this unfolding of what could be their future that their past
Is he cutting or is it me? Like, I'm not
No,
sure.
he is
I was
cutting.
wondering.
Yeah, I think it's cutting. I can't hear him too.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Then,
And we've lost Eddie on that
Eddie.
last script.
Okay.
It's very hard to know. See, we used to live performance. We would know what
Yeah.
to do, say to one another if we were all in the
Okay.
same room. It's
So
a bit
maybe
awkward.
so maybe, but yeah, so that those are the gist of the 4 plays that we have in the anthology, and I think it was really awesome for Eddie to really break down how they came to the decision making and how they also read each one. And I think it's been quite an exciting also journey for even there as one of the contributing writers to get back feedback and the shifts and the things that needed to be done from both Vice from the Arts Konageng and Writers Lab. So, and I think part of the big thing I wanted to highlight around Writers Lab is that it is a lab. So if you think of a lab, is that you put things together, you try out new things, you experiment, we're thinking through things, we're trying out things. And we're also really, and you can hear from the different kind of versions of stories, is that we're trying all sorts of stories. So we're not just trying to get stuck in the idea of what is this kind of story and what are, we're going across very serious issues to really serious issues in a light-hearted way, to love, to all of the conversations that we're all having in our different and various ways. So in a way, then to move on to the next piece that we wanted to showcase today as an example of what we would normally do. So normally we would meet on a Saturday, we would read, and we would give each other feedback around this reading and thoughts around where the person can improve and engage. So you would understand that this piece is also a work in progress. So we're open to feedback, to people writing back, to letting us know what they think and their thoughts. So it's not a finished product. It's a work in progress. And just to introduce it, is that it is written by Mpho Malesa. He is a graduate from Tshwane University of Technology and a poet, and has been doing amazing work through poetry and thinking through how radio and poetry work together. And he has been part of the Writers Lab also really early on from the inception, and has been part of how we write and how we're thinking about creating work in the Writers Lab. So part of what he did for this was he wanted to try out an experiment and write a screenplay. So rather than the theater play, since we're all now moving with the digital age and moving towards everything going online. So Mpho really did a good job in trying to think about how he can really establish these characters and work through that. The play is called X. You'll help me out here because I had to close up all of my windows because my network was acting up also.
It's the Crocodile Case.
Yes, the Crocodile Case. So the Crocodile Case, and we so that we don't have internet problems, we pre-recorded it, and thanks to TX for really hosting the space. I think what has been lovely for us has been this, to have X and TX in such big support for everything. Like we breathe, and X is like, yeah, I can help out. How else do you want to breathe? So we really want to be grateful for that, for having given us the space and doing that. So in anything else that I left out about the play, X, that you want to add, and then we can go into the piece as soon as possible.
No, you said everything. We can go to it. Then maybe we could have a discussion after it, or they could write to the Writers Lab about comments and everything.
Okay, great. Yeah. So please write back, write in the comment section. I think on the YouTube there is a place, there's comment section, you can comment there. We will also leave our email, and we can write back to POPArt, can write back to us, and feedback. He wants the script to grow, he wants to shift, he's open to all of those things. So as we said, we're experimenting. If you think of a lab, it's a place where we add things, try out new things. Mix Ebola virus with something else and make up a new virus. But yeah. So yes, so here the Crocodile Case by Mpho Malesa. Thank you very much.
2 and action. This is the Crocodile Case, a short film by Mpho Malesa. This is the first draft. Interior, morning. Inside a comfortable house, very clean and neat. We are introduced to Quentin's tidiness. It is white and bright in the kitchen. Quentin walks in, good-looking man, and he's got a suit on, finishing up his breakfast. He then puts the dishes in the sink. He takes out his phone and calls Pomozo, his girlfriend.
Good morning, my sunshine. How are you doing this beautiful morning? I'm good, I'm okay. I should be asking you. How's the stomach cramps? Oh, that's a relief. You had me scared last night for a moment there. I nearly drove there that same time. Oh, wow. So I'm the one that's dramatic here. Okay.
He checks his watch.
Hey, my love, listen, I have to go, otherwise I'll be late for work. Yes, I slept, baby. You know, I have to finish this case, then I will have time for everything else. But I promise I will see you today later on. Yes, I will drive to your place. Okay, love. Bye-bye. I love you.
He finishes his coffee, takes his jacket, and leaves. Exterior, late afternoon. The sun looks like it's melting down into the earth. Quentin, with a bouquet of flowers in his hands, gets inside his car and calls for Muto. Dials the numbers and places the call. It takes him to voicemail, and he leaves a voicemail message.
Hey, babe. I'm on my way to your place now from work. As promised, I will be there in a few minutes. I love you.
He hangs up and drives. Exterior, late evening. The night is settling in, and the golden hour is slowly seeping through. We are at Khomuto's place. Quentin steps out of his car with flowers in his hands and a big grin on his face. He walks in, knocks, but there was no response, so he lets himself in.
Khomuto. Babe. Daddy's home.
Looking for his lover, he heads to the bedroom, and he is welcomed by the undergarments leading to where his lover is being loved by another. He opens the door and catches them in the act, one on top of the other. Passionate sexual tidings. He pauses, shocked, takes a moment. Silence occupies the room. He turns and leaves, throws the flowers on the floor, steps on them, and he gets into his car and drives off. Exterior outside the club, it's crowded. Quentin parks the car and goes inside. Interior, in the club, Quentin is at the bar, drinking. Someone is watching him and sending an update to his boss, the Crocodile. Quentin is knees weak and drunk. He leaves. The exterior, the spy still follows him. Quentin realizes that he can't drive, so he calls a taxi. Exterior, he gets home, unlocks, enters and locks. Inside the house, he gets onto his bed, throws himself on the bed, and he passes out. In his bedroom, in the morning, he wakes up with a spitting headache, hangover. The bed is red with blood. He tries to use his hand, but he is handcuffed with Modise, lying dead next to him with his throat slit.
No. Modise. No. Modise, what? Come on, man. What happened? What happened to you, man? Who did this to you? I am so sorry, man.
He's hysterical. He sits up and goes deep into thought with a torn spirit. He searches for his phone and can't find it. He stands up, approaching the door. When he's about to touch the door, a phone rings. He looks for it, he finds it, and answers.
I thought you'd never wake up. I know everything is confusing right now, but I wouldn't do that if I were you. The door is armed with explosives, so if you turn the handle, you die in pieces. If you break the door, you die in pieces. So please, don't die in pieces.
Who are you? You killed my friend.
You can call me the Crocodile, but right now, I'm your way out of this.
You killed my friend. What do you want from me? Why are you doing this?
Good. Straight to the point. Good. Let me tell you a little story about a crocodile.
Listen, I don't want to hear about your tales.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. A crocodile is very calm, and it's a very calm and patient beast. It sits and targets its prey for some time until they make a mistake. It won't know that it's there, and the prey will provoke the crocodile by going after its livelihood. And a crocodile doesn't take lightly when anyone fucks with its livelihood. You are fucking with my livelihood, Quentin. This will end badly for you.
I will just call the police and tell them everything.
Be my guest. Ah, sorry. No pun intended. You're already my guest. But do you think the police will believe you? Since the murder weapon is covered with your fingerprints, do you think the police will understand that you killed one of them? And perhaps you know better than I do, but isn't it? It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is what you can prove.
You sick bastard. I'm going to find you
Just save it. I have your balls in my hands. I can drag them down. I can drag them on a razor fence when I want to. Now here's what you will do. You will destroy the evidence that this bastard gave you, every single shred of it, and you will recuse yourself from the case. Now without your star witness, I mean, he was your star witness, right? Now without that and the evidence, the case will go into shit and I will go free.
I won't do it. You should have killed me instead. You are going to rot in jail.
He hangs up, drags his friend to the side of the bed and sits down.
I never got to tell you how much I love and appreciate you, my friend. Because men never do. It's like we're waiting for times like this until we speak the truth about our feelings. But I am telling you now, my friend, I love you and I appreciate you. I'm sorry that I wasn't there to save you like you saved me from everyone. The bullies, the streets, and myself. I'm sorry. It should have been me. It should have been me who was killed like this to save you for once. It should have been me. I'm sorry that it had to end this way.
An incoming call from Khomotso. He hangs up. She calls again, this time with a video call.
What do you want? What? Breaking my heart doesn't satisfy you. You want my kidneys now? No. My lungs?
No, I just want to talk and make things right.
Well, I don't want to talk to you. As a matter of fact, I don't want to see you anymore.
I know I hurt you and you don't deserve it, but I thought you'd never find out, and now you did. And now the whole thing is a mess. This thing is, he bought me black roses, babe. And you know what black roses, you know that black roses are my weakness.
Don't ever call me again.
Baby, I am really sorry, okay? I'll see him for the last time tomorrow, and I won't see him again.
I don't care. You can see him as many times as you like, as long as you just don't call me. Do you hear me?
Okay, but baby, I'll see him for the last time today then. Tell him it's over, and now I want to see you. I want to see you at your place, right? Yes, I am coming. I want to apologize.
No, do not come here.
Why are you being so edgy? Have you got a skunk in there already? Huh? Men are trash.
No, I'm here alone. There's no one else here.
You know what? I'm gonna deal with that bitch you are defending so much. I'm coming there.
No, don't come here. Khomotso! Shit.
Talking to his friend.
And you warned me about her. I didn't listen to you. Now she has done what she said she'll do. Hurt me.
A message alert on the laptop. He drags his friend over there and there's a video of his siblings sleeping. The call comes in from the crocodile.
If you ever touch my siblings, I will pull your bones from your flesh myself.
Shut up. Just shut the fuck up, man. I want this case to be turned into dust, Quentin. You know what to do.
Mr. Crocodile, please. Don't do this.
No, Quentin. This is not the time to start begging. You started this. You and your police and your courts. Now make this case go away, or your beautiful sibling will not see the light of day again. And now you just made your girlfriend a part of this. Yes, Quentin. I'm watching every step that you make. Now, if you don't do what I asked, she dies too.
He hangs up the phone. Quentin dials Khomoto's number and calls. She doesn't pick up. He's now agitated. He calls his friend Kujo.
Kujo, listen, dude. I need your help, man. I'm in trouble. I need you to call Khomoto and distract her from coming to my place.
Oh, Quinty. Sure, boy. That's what a man does. He eats fruit salad. You hit here and you hit there. Two birds with two long... Oh, you hit here and you hit there. Two birds with one long stick.
Kujo, this is not a joke. I am serious.
Okay. Let me take you serious. So tell me, boy, are you using handcuffs? Wait, is it in the kitchen? You know, man, fucking knife things. Or is it the horse riding? Hee-haw!
Quentin hangs up the phone and Kujo and his friends laughs.
Look, he didn't tell me. I wanted to know if he wanted me to distract Khomoto or to distract Khomoto. Because you know why I can distract her the whole day.
Quentin, using a stake to take down the installed cameras, he looks for something to unlock the cars. He searches his friend Modise, finds a USB in his jacket and goes to the laptop. He plays it, sees the evidence of the crocodile killing someone and taking a bag of drugs, finds a pin, unlocks the cuffs, takes his laptop and opens the door, and Khomoto is on the opposite side of the door.
What are you doing here? I told you not to come here.
No, baby, I've missed you so much, and I just wanted to show you how sorry I am.
She sees the body and blood and she screams.
Ah! Quentin, what is this? What is that? What is that? There's a dead body in your house. Why would there be a dead body in your house? You are a murderer, Quentin. You killed your best friend. You slaughtered his throat with a knife. A fucking knife. So am I next? Huh? Because I hate you, yeah? Yeah, I should be the next. You are going to kill me. I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. I'll do anything. I'll give you a baby. I'll buy you a train. Whatever. I'll get you dragon eggs. And please just don't kill me.
Khomoto, hey, stop. Stop it. I didn't kill him, okay? Look, I woke up and he was here, handcuffed to me. And they're threatening my siblings. They're saying I must throw this case or they'll let me go. I didn't kill him, okay? I'm not going to kill you.
Okay, but what case? Who's doing this to you?
It's some, look, Khomoto, you can't be here. You really have to go. He can be here at any minute now. I don't want you to be a part of this. Come, let's go. We have to get out of here.
So we're just going to leave him alone, baby. He's going to be lonely.
I'll come back for him. Let's go get help.
They open the door, and on the other side of the door is Mr. Crocodile himself at the door, with a gun in his hand.
Quentin, you going somewhere? Hey, hello, beautiful.
Hi.
You dragged her into this.
No, she was just leaving. She's not a part of this. Khomoto, go. She's leaving.
Oh, I'm leaving. Yes, I'm leaving. I'm not part of this. I just came here to take some chicken. I just came here to take my chicken.
Where is it? What's the bloody chicken?
It's at home, at my grandmother's place. I forgot that I ate it the day before yesterday.
Back inside. What's the evidence?
I don't have it.
I'm not here to fucking play games, Quentin. What's the evidence? Look at your friend. Do you want to see your girlfriend like that? I don't think so. So where's the evidence, Quentin?
I don't have it. I don't know.
Crocodile takes out a knife and puts it on Komoto's throat. She screams.
No, okay. I'll give it to you. Just let her go.
Quentin, where is the evidence?
Okay, it's on the laptop.
Bring it to me.
Quentin brings it.
And play it.
Quentin plays it. He watches it and closes the laptop.
Is this everything?
Yes.
Good. Because if I find out that you're lying to me, your siblings are dead, Quentin. Your girlfriend here is dead.
The police are here. Help! Help!
Crocodile turns to see if there's really police behind him, and there's nothing. Quentin attacks him and they fight for the gun. They both lose it, and after a long fight, Komoto has the gun. Quentin takes it from her and points it at the crocodile. He laughs.
You won't shoot me, Quentin. I mean, you're a lawyer for 5'6". You follow the law. You protect people. So just give me my stuff and I'll leave.
No, I'm not giving you anything. So just leave now. Homoto, call the police. Stop moving. Stop. If you don't stop, I'll shoot.
Then shoot, Quentin. I can't go to jail. So you better kill me right now, right here. So go on. Shoot. Kill me. Shoot me for fuck's sakes. Shoot, Quentin.
Crocodile attacks Quentin and he gets shot on the leg. He falls down and he sits. Komoto and Quentin takes the laptop and they hug each other. The police arrives and arrests the crocodile. We see the hidden installed cameras by Quentin showing the crocodile and his crew killing Modise and cuffing him to Quentin. The end.
Welcome back. A round of applause for our readers and writers. We have got no comments from our watching audience, so please feel free to comment. Please feel free to put some discussion topics in. But I want to invite X and the Writers Lab to start the discussion about the piece.
X. No, X is. Okay.
I'm here, comrade. I'm here. Comrade.
Oh, leader, comrade leader. Yeah, please give us some thoughts, your thoughts since you were around, and then we can give you questions and we can speak back to the piece just a little bit.
Yeah. For me, the story and the discussion that we had on Saturday with other writers it's a very interesting story to open it with like a dead body tied to a lawyer. So how then do we really get the information? How to really go back into what had happened before? Why is this particular individual who's a detective being killed and being tied to the lawyer? So the conversation we had on Saturday was how do we build a story, because in a screenplay is not that clear, it's not that open, that how then do we follow into really understanding and also being sympathetic towards the lawyer. So yeah, basically that's what we discussed on Saturday about the play, and also questioning the two characters, the girlfriend and the friend. So yeah, basically that's what we spoke about.
Yeah, because I think also my feedback to Mpho and the writer, and I think we will hear back. I think there's a bit of a clip for him to speak back to that. But my biggest feedback was, so he does a very good job of doing, establishing the world of this lawyer, right? So he makes sure his house is clear, he's got a car, all of that, establishing her as a girlfriend and things like that. But he doesn't do the work of having to establish the person as a character so that we like him and we become on his side, so that we actually are rooting for him, and that when this tragedy happens for him, we want to hide it for him. We want to be the ones who are like, no, we're gonna hide it for you. We're gonna find somebody. We're gonna do the work. So that is, as an audience member, I don't feel for him. I don't love him. I don't fall in love with him. But he does a really awesome job of just telling us who all these people are around him and the possibilities of where it can go. And I think that it needs to tighten up a bit around the character himself, around who he is, why we should fall in love with him, and then his relations with all these other people in there, because then all of these people then mean something towards that dead body and him himself and all of. So if we're not linking ourselves to him, and then we don't get links to those other people, and why should we care about them? So, but I think it was a really awesome attempt, especially because Mpho being a theater person and really having worked a lot in theater and acting and radio. So it's quite interesting for you to see him shift into, and because on screen, you're doing a very different job to what you're revealing on stage, right? So on stage, the story is, for both, the story is important, but I think on screen, you're trying to do more of what are the pictures we would want the camera to capture, so the eye of the camera. So we're writing for what would you want us to see. And I missed that also. I missed the part of the stuff we would want to see. So we get that there's these home engagement and things that he has to do outside. He seems like a very busy man, but we don't get to engage with what are the pictures that Mpho wants to see. What are the crocodile? We know it's crocodile tears, but that crocodile concept of like, what are the hardness, what are the softness, what is, also part of the crocodile. The beauty of a crocodile is its ability to function on land and off land and water. So it doesn't live in water, but it's brilliant in water. So I think also playing on that metaphor would have been an interesting case, because I know Crocodile Case itself is what our parents used to carry because it makes sense that you are a rich-ish person. And also the crocodile case concept of like it's a case around, but also just to play around these metaphors that are rich, that he's kind of like playing on already, but just really engage in it more. Yeah, Eddie, thoughts?
Yeah. Yes, guys. I'm off. My video is off because of the network problem. Okay. My concern was that there is no one thread from the beginning that leads right up to the end. So there is no build-up. And if we don't have that, we are not sure what to be invested in. So we know they say it's about the case of the crocodile, and it's called the Crocodile Case. So if the case is not the overriding thing or the underlying thing, then we don't know what to follow. Because even with the case, it's a bit obscure. We're not sure what the case is about and why the crocodile is so invested in it, and why our main character does not give up, especially after his friend has been killed. And I think that death also, it holds no value because he wakes up, the friend is dead. There was no friendship that was established for us to then say that actually this guy loves his friend so much. He says it when the friend is now dead. We as the readers or as the audiences are not even invested in the friendship. So I think Mpho, the writer, would need to first establish relationships. who is related to who in what way and what does that mean to them, so that when that is threatened, we know that the crocodile does not play. But it feels like the death of the friend needs to be like the biggest. There needs to be things that build up to that. We need to know that Homotso is working on a case. Is it Homotso or Quentin? Yeah, it's Quentin. He's working on a case. We need to know from the beginning that he is a lawyer, and what does this case mean, and how dangerous is it to be working on this case. And even him just finding his girlfriend in the arms of another, we don't know where that comes from, where that built up from. So we are not even invested in it. And it actually muddies the whole story of the crocodile case, because while they are dealing with the case of the crocodile and the murder of the friend, they now have to fight this thing of the girlfriend sleeping with another, but it goes nowhere. So I think those are the things that our writer needs to actually focus on. Unmute, yes.
Perhaps we listen to a bit of the clips they did during the weekend, and then we can then wrap up with our big review. We've got another big review besides the anthology, so stay with us. So, and then we can move on to so just let's hear what they've said and what are they working on. Yeah.
All right.
You don't see the relationship in any other space. The moment that we see them with the video call where he's saying yada yada yada, then we see her cheating and we don't know why she's cheating really. I mean, black roses, but there's always something deeper. If you really love someone, then maybe there's something that he's not giving her that she's getting from the other. And I mean, who is the other guy, right? I mean, you don't just cheat with any random guy, right? So I think if you can clarify the state of the relationship. I mean, she's cheated. How does she feel about that? Yeah. You know, like, I mean, I would buy it more. I don't buy the reason that if I cheated on someone and then I call them saying I want to come, and then they say don't come, my immediate thing is not going to be, oh, you have someone else there, I'm coming. Because that puts me back in power, whereas I'm the one who transgressed. I'm the one who must be chasing after you, right? So like if what would make more credible sense to me was if she wanted to apologize, like by any means necessary, because she fucked up whatever they had together. Excuse my language, right? So that for me would give a motivation to say, even if he says don't come, look baby, I'm coming, I'm sorry, I'm coming. And then when she arrives, then she finds the situation, and then it's like, oh, you know. So I think if we can get a greater sense of why she's doing what she's doing, because no character can just live without motivation, and no character can just live to serve the story of another, right? She has to have her own, like Linda was saying, she has to have her own world. You know, why did she go down this path? You know, why did she choose to do this? And then I think the thing that also is missing for me is this case. What is the case? Yeah. You know, what is the actual case that the crocodile is going so far to destroy this guy's world? to the point that he's willing to kill someone and put this person in bed with to implicate this guy, right? So what is it that is at stake here? Because I think if you can give us a sense of what the case actually is drugs, is it kidnapping, is it, a serial killer, is it, because I think that's also going to inform the type of lawyer that he then is. And also is going to inform the connections that he has outside, right? So like, I feel like it's very insulated, and I get why you're saying you're coming from that place where you're in lockdown, like you're trying to see how you can build a story that happens here. But even in lockdown, we're connecting to the outer world through Zoom, through video calls, so our relationships are still active. So in his world as a lawyer, in the world of this case, what is the status of the case? Where are we coming? What's the next date that's coming up? I think you can use this to make time really that thing of the clock, to say maybe the next morning is that star witness, and maybe the star witness is detective. And however you choose to deal with the thing, I think for me it would be more compelling if you start the story with him waking up with the handcuff and the body there, and there's blood everywhere, because it raises the question of, what the hell is going on here? Whereas if you started with this thing of the relationship, hey baby, whatever, you're starting at your beginning, right? Whereas it is not the moment that gets us to ask questions about the main story. It doesn't raise the main dramatic question of what your story is about, right? So like when we see this guy in predicament, for me that's like to open on that image, it makes the other, it's sort of like Memento. Yeah, Christopher Nolan. There's that guy who likes to put messages all over his body because he keeps forgetting what's happening, right? So I think that one of the opening images is him. We find him in a situation where things are already messed up, right? And now, considering that he's a lawyer, this presents certain challenges for him. He can't be in a space where he is handcuffed to the lead detective of this thing. His fingerprints are on the murder weapon, and now he's dealing with his girlfriend who's cheating on him. This guy's watching him. So you see, there's a lot that's happening inside this world. So I think we need to get into that matter, as opposed to the other backstory of the relationship and the cheating girlfriend, because the meat of the story is in this sense of this guy has woken up with a dead body.
And also,
Okay, great. So that was Katlego Chale, who's also a lead member of Writers Lab. So, and I think, yes, I think he gave really interesting feedback to Mpho around really clarifying what you're already saying, Eddie, around clarifying that relationship and how it comes in, and more importantly, clarifying why should we care about any of these people? Because I think currently none of us care, and therefore we can't stay with the story. And if you don't care about characters, we don't want to stay through 20 minutes, 10 minutes, anything, or even an hour. But I think it was really an interesting take that Mpho's trying to engage in, around also how do you make all these people come together who are quite different and distant, and also the idea of the lockdown and coming in a story right now. So it's quite interesting to think about how do you lock down and solve cases. Any other comments, any other thing towards Mpho feedback that he can still work on?
You can go, Lily, you can go.
It's a very quick comment, but I just want to say that I thought there was a very wonderful line from the girlfriend where she said, "I'll give you a baby, I'll buy you a train." It's one of my favorite lines I've heard in a very long time. "I'll give you a baby, I'll buy you a train."
I think it's also Mpho as a poet, so I think part of you can also hear in the musicality of how they write, so there's quite a musicality to his characters. Now they respond to each other, which is quite lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I just think as an actor, what a fantastic starting point to think about who would say that? Who am I if that's what I'm saying? I just love it. Sorry, X.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. For me, we gave him notes and we're going to work with him also to develop the script further. So it'll be also interesting to read it again after this feedback. If he goes back and then he writes, and then we can read it again and see how far he went with the story.
Yeah, and just one positive comment is having these people in one place. I don't know if it's an apartment or what. That's actually a great place, because what these people come, it's that they come in and go out. And the more they come in and go out, that's where now we need to be seeing Quentin's life change. So we meet him where things seem to be a bit ordinary. But the more these people come in and go out, or somebody comes in and speaks about somebody else, the moment somebody comes in there and we see how his life changes, Mpho needs to actually take advantage of that. All you have is this one room, and when somebody comes in and goes out, you should ask yourself, what did they serve? And how did they advance the story? How did they advance the tension? And what did that build up to? So that we know a return of the crocodile, he comes back bigger or with a bigger purpose, which will make Quentin's life even more in more danger. It will put him even in a bigger corner. So we in a tighter corner. So Mpho needs to take advantage of that. We usually talk about it as a liminal space. It's something in which where people cannot come out the same. So that when in him building up the tension and in him building up the desperation up until something big happens and Quentin realizes that I need to defend myself and shoot. He needs to have build up, and the way for him to know how to build up is that once a person comes in and goes out, something different, they need to have introduced something, or they need to have built up to something.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's how we normally really engage much more around stories and where the writer wants to take it. And so because of that, and we really appreciate the platform from POPArt from having to really do this thing that we've been longing to do for such a long time, to see each other and to read to each other. I think also reading for us is important to each other more than even just the writing. So reading to each other and getting feedback from each other. We have a bit of an announcement besides the anthology. We have another announcement, like the night of surprises. So Eddie's going to do that announcement again. So we relegate everything to Eddie. Out, Eddie, are you ready? Or is he frozen again? Okay, I think Eddie's frozen again.
Yeah, I think there's network problem.
Okay, so let me just make the announcement. It will fall on me. So we've had, as I said, the lab was started a couple of years ago, and for the longest time it was first conceptualized. I was just thinking about it, that they had first talked about was the Writers Fraternity. Was it the fraternity?
It was a fraternity.
Yes, it was the Writers Fraternity at the time. Oh, there's Mpho. And then somebody called them out on their patriarchy and their a bit of engagement of just being males only. So I think then the name shifted to lab and the conversation around how do we include much more of an inclusive space. But the logo has always been a very interesting one because we have been an experimental space. Hello, Mpho is here. This is the right time, Mpho Malesa, who
Hello.
wrote the piece that we just saw. So Mpho, we finished reading a piece and we did feedback without you. So, but we are now in the next moment for the reading because we are launching. We are also doing an expose of our of our new logo. Yeah.
Oh,
So we still have yeah. So now we're at that part. So, but maybe we'll give you a few minutes after we introduce the logo. Then you can talk back just a little bit about your piece. Yeah. All right. So the logo is up. So this is our new logo, and the new logo really is about um, the lab itself and how we're thinking around writing as a very laboratory space, as a space for experimenting, but as a space for new ideas. And so you'll see that it's a mix of a pen and a globe, and globe really thinking around ideas and really thinking around how we can make it we can really engage with each other in interesting ways. So that's why we add around the new logo. So we're really excited because we haven't really had a moment to release it to all the members of the lab, to new members. So we're opening up for membership for people who want to join and become part of the lab, to share their work with us, to share their experiments with us. And we are really working towards also a much more formalized membership so that as people can see, we are growing and they can see we've moved from that handwritten logo to a now a formal logo. So we're really excited about it. And we're really excited about the new ways and movements that we're all making and the kind of collaborating and collaborations that we're making from TX, Tin Town, the Arts Konageng and POPArt. And as we grow, we want to collaborate more with other people and get more and more other writers. So we're open to collaborations, open to new ideas and new people. So we're back on, and I think you can see my face now. So, so that's what we are launching and really excited about it. So because now we're back and Mpho is here just for the last few minutes. So Mpho, I guess maybe from the feedback that you got on Saturday, and you've been thinking about your own workload and that around you. So maybe just for a few minutes, just to let us know what are your thoughts, what are you thinking, what are you working towards, so that maybe Lorna, when we're writing back to you, we can write a much more structured idea around your piece. So maybe just give us a few ideas of what you're thinking, where does the idea come from, and where do you want it to go?
hello everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone is good. The idea started when I guess I just wanted to write something for myself. I just wanted to write something that I could do myself because mostly I've been experimenting of some works where people wrote. So I just wanted to write work myself and actually interpret it myself the way that I feel about it, because I realized that somehow there's a gray area, or there's a space, there's a certain feeling that I get from experimenting or interpreting someone's work and my work. And my work, when I'm doing it, it feels personal, it feels more truthful to myself. And it's sort of a distant nyana when I'm doing someone else's work. So I just wanted to write a short film for myself and actually I just wanted to rescue myself from the insane chaos that has been happening around lockdown and everything. So initially, I just thought of an idea. Okay, this person is a lawyer, a young, vibrant, successful lawyer who just wakes up in one morning and he is handcuffed with a dead body. He doesn't know how and why, and this dead body is his best friend. His dead friend is an undercover cop that has been feeding him information from the inside of the case that he is working on. So now he has to fight to investigate this um, situation that is in right now and the actual case that that he's dealing with. It's the same villain that's bringing all these chaos to him, which is making it personal for him. So the feedback that I got on Saturday, it was overwhelming. Yes, it was. Most of the things just came in and they went out because of the excitement and the ideas that were flowing in the team. And I was like, yo, these people are just talking, and I'm not taking in everything. They're not giving me space to breathe and actually capture something in my mind, because I think my mind will capture a slow nyan. So I was like, okay, guys, we have to slow down nyana so that we can be able to, get some information. Because if I live like this, I won't remember anything. So finally, at the end, they gave me some pointers on how to maneuver through the work, and now I have ideas on how to, map around it and find my way around it. But one thing that I've realized is that it won't be a short film anymore. I don't think it will be a short film anymore. It's gonna be a longer version of what I initially thought. Because initially when I thought about it, I thought short film. So immediately that closed me off onto a lot of ideas, onto a lot of situations and elements that I should work on through or on the script. So now working on those little things that I thought of in the back of my mind, and I just pushed them away because I just wanted something short. So when they initially brought it forward and say, "Hey, Baba, you need to work on this, and this, and this, and this," some of them I knew, but they're like, "Yo, wait, I want to keep it short." But now there was a lot of ideas, and even those that I wasn't aware of. So initially, the idea is still there. The initial situation will be there, so but it's gonna be a bit longer now. It's not gonna be a short film anymore. So yeah, I think I'm still working from that point going forward. So yeah, it's a Crocodile Case.
Great. No, I think it's really awesome that you found that for yourself also. And also such a lovely revealing moment also when you're saying where we're going through a hellscape outside in the world, and you found a way to, to work through it. How do you make sense of it? So I think that's really brilliant. So there is more feedback. So please watch this, come back. Yeah, so watch this video, go back, and more feedback, and then definitely we'll encourage more other people to also watch and email us, and then we'll also give it to you and send it to you. I think it's really awesome, and we want you to do better and do it and do more work and write more. So so perhaps maybe then I think there is one more feedback video that Haley would like us to play. And then I think after that, we will wrap up and then finish up, because we want to do and then announce our couple of dates of other readings and when they're going to happen, and that people can tune in. So people can stay up. So Mpho, you've got one more feedback, but I think this is one of the ones So this is the stuff that you've forgotten from Saturday, but you can get it again. So we're gonna just play that, and then we'll be back after that to do something. All right.
What does the crocodile still have to fear? Which is why I think I'm going to go back to say then, what is the case? The name of this thing is the Crocodile Case. It's not the love affair between the lawyer and his girlfriend. It's the Crocodile Case. So it's about this kid trying to put that guy away. And that guy is doing everything in his power to ensure that this kid does not, like I could say he's a successful lawyer, so chances are he's already gonna get things done. So, building that sense of his success, because I don't get the sense that he's a successful lawyer from the reading. It doesn't really come across that he's as good a lawyer as you're saying he is when you're explaining it, right? So, we need to see him as a strategist, trying to fight this thing in some way. Right now, I don't get a sense that he's fighting. I hear you saying he's stubborn, but I'm not seeing stubbornness come across. Yeah.
I think another thing, Crocodile Lukunti. I feel like from what Crocodile does to Quintin, it feels like it's more than what's happening now. I don't know if I'm making sense. It seems like it's either Mpho Malesa.
Yeah. So what's the status of the case?
You understand? To an extent, for somebody, you understand, even though I'm an animal, but for somebody to kill somebody, for him to go through so much admin from fun, they're either gonna be history. Because now it seems like, because you know what's the thing? It feels like Crocodile is going through desperate measures now. I don't know if I'm making sense. Then if he's at a point where he's going through desperate measures, then it means there's a series of things. It's either or the typical way Crocodile onale pincha hai lizard olore mfano mutshwarisitse mfano mutshwarisitse lizard. Then it's just an example.
And so if there's a history between Crocodile and the lawyer, maybe that can also be the thing that has been eating away at their relationship. Maybe he's so absorbed into his work that he's not seeing her. He's not giving her the amount of time that she needs. So that when someone then comes into her life with a black rose, then it wakes something up.
Yeah, understand. So also Lizard, though, you finish in this cartel. You got Lizard, you only left this Crocodile. Understand? And Crocodile has an plan. And because even I feel like it's killing still personal, man. Who sat up in high,
take his kids.
Like then you can see it's no longer just if flopela only like lawyer Rahim flopela this relationship, Crocodile na kwa. It's
personal now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that brings us to the close of tonight's sort of program. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Thank you to our beautiful friends at the Writers Lab and at TX Theatre and Mpho for letting us use his script for our first online event. We're really excited to be bringing an online series. I see in the comments that people are saying, is it only Pretoria? No, what's beautiful about this moment, if we again go with this idea of making lemonade from the lemons that 2020 has thrown at us, we are able to build online communities and we can start talking to each other in more meaningful ways. So the Writers Lab is very happy to receive more scripts, is very happy to extend their community. We've posted in the chat the email address that you can send scripts to and that you can engage further on. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, audience and our beautiful people in the room. Thank you so much. Is there any final thoughts that anyone would like to pop in before we say goodnight?
I think a thank you, POPArt. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for the for reviving also our, we've gone silent, and thank you so much for this collaboration. It's so heartwarming for all of us. Thank you so much for this. And we're experimenting also. We also are like, oh, is that how it's gonna work? Doesn't it work? Yeah, so we're really excited. So, and thank you again to Eddie, being in the car and making it happen and making it work. So thank you so much. I know, life is happening. Really also, most importantly, I think TX for giving us the space and creating that place for us, and really just that awesome friendship and collaboration always. And more important, like the guy who makes everything happen, like, guys, the guy who is like, and Jesus said, and there was light, is
Yeah.
Katlego Chali, is amazing even, and really he couldn't be here today, but we are just shining now, but he's the person who made it all happen, and I wish he was here to really run with it and make it what he's been dreaming, and what he's the one who dreams and he's the one who makes the dream happen. So we really we appreciate every moment and love him so much, and really wish him the best right now in this moment, in his when he cannot be here since his grandmother has died. But really, really, Katlego is the bomb. Like, he's the engine that makes us to be. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to Katlego, and thank you to POPArt and Vice and everybody else we've been collaborating with.
Yeah, and stay tuned for more. We hope to see you again. We hope to grow this online community. We hope to continue to enrich one another's work through programs and things like this. So thank you so much. Good night.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Cheers.